Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Ittle Dew 2 Plus. Let's continue. So we bit off more than we could chew. And we are in this puzzle area. And I don't really know what we're supposed to be. I don't know if I'm really going to be able to do all of this, but feels like we might be able to. Okay. So, what I would want to have happen is to have this little cube pushed. And I suppose we can push them. As long as we can get him to where we want him, which is a bit of an if, but I think we can do it. We'll just push him over on this side instead, and then down here, and then down here, and then down here. So he's now standing on it, which interesting. I thought this would give me invincibility frames forever, but apparently not. So how do I open this door? I think the trick here is still not incredibly crazy. These lasers here don't seem like they really do anything. Alright, so we're just gonna push this one and then we're going to try and run. And we'll see. Well, actually, we probably need him over in kind of that direction. Right now, when I hit this, does that reactivate? No. So we now have both switches stood on, but I don't think that's what we needed to do. So I guess maybe what we were supposed to do is break. Like, I can't even see what's going on here, but I think I'm probably pushing this. Yeah, one more hit and it'll break the laser sight. And that's what it wanted me to do. Okay. So all we're doing right now is this whole side mission thing to collect these cards, which are nothing. And don't matter. Mirrors, 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 mirrors. We need a mirror that would potentially, I guess, maybe jumpstart this machine. So I'm gonna have to potentially have somebody standing there. I don't think this one matters so much. So yeah, push that there and then do this and then do that. That was a mistake. need to shoot that down and do that, and then kind of quickly come back to this point. Actually, this and then this is fine. If anything, actually, I think maybe 3 of these would be fine. Let's see. 1, 2, if we can get the angles right. 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3. You know what? I bet that's better. And then I can... no, I can't shoot it that way. So I can start a ball here. Fine. One, 2. 1, 2. And 3. Yeah. I think I understand what I'm supposed to do. 1, 2, 3. Nope. This doesn't feel like a challenge that wants to be solved. These puzzles are way more difficult than the main puzzles we've seen, and so I am just like way too early. Let's see, how many bounces do we get? Seems like we get a fairly large amount of bounces, so that's helpful. Alright. Yeah, we have Jenny, Safety Jenny, which is weird because we already had Safety Jenny. So apparently we got Stupid Bee instead, and we just got them out of order. And so where does this take us? Back to place do we care about? Let's see, we're about to die anyways. It wouldn't hurt to just fall to our death and reset. That's the other problem that we've run into, is that it is fairly easy to fall to your death and take a damage, and that probably is a great argument to not try to do any of these levels until we have all of our health at the max. So yeah, and at a certain point we may not be really interested in bothering. So yeah, we now know what we have to do. Have to come over and try and figure out if we can actually manage to get this other section done. Yeah, I guess there's a trading card. And I'm guessing that there's no secrets. So this can't do anything until it's powered. So I need to be able, I think, to bounce myself diagonally. And if I get the angle just right, I think I might be able to pull that off. And it'll be interesting to see what happens then. Yeah. That's the trick. We need to get the angle just right so we can hit the edge. I guess I have to applaud this game for not going with like a crazy death scream every time you fall or anything really more than a fade out, fade in, because you fall a lot. Feels like the game should be cheating on your favor just to save yourself some frustration. There we go. We made it. Now what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I can't really push them. So I'm gonna have to hit this guy and then hope. Nope. Okay. I do know what to do there now. Now that I remember there was a mirror here. So. Moving out of the way, apparently. But you've got to get really on the edge, too. And then if you die, instead of giving you a checkpoint, you're like way over in this area, which has this section, which is kind of easy to fall down from and take your life from you when you fall. And then you come up to this section, and then it's still very possible to die in this section. So there's just a couple of transitional places that you could be at half health if you're not careful with these kind of awkward controls before you even get to the room that you want to be in. I don't understand why they're going with such, like, this feels like a full 360 directionality too on the controls, which just doesn't sit right with me. Like, it really feels like it should be. Maybe I shouldn't hit a button. Maybe I should just let it bounce me and see if the game is adjusting for me and I'm just not realizing it. Yeah. 8-way controls would be my maximum that I would like to see this at. So I'm gonna go and then roll back. I don't think that's gonna work. But if I did something like this, I guess you have a brief amount of time, but you only have like 5 hits before that would hit you also, so feels unrealistic that you're supposed to do something like this and then get a diagonal angle. If I had hit the button twice, that would probably would have had a chance. But boy, is that angle wrong too. You have to be fairly close to the edge without falling to the edge. And I don't think I'm doing it the wrong way. I think that's actually what they wanted. because kind of nothing else makes sense. And if we leave, I mean, we just left, so if everything has been reset now, that would really suck. But it would be a nice excuse at least to not have to continue down this path. This is reset. But this isn't. Interesting. Yeah. Well, I thought I was going to get away with finding an excuse to give up on this, but I don't think it's going to be that generous. Clearly more life would help. Just more attempts. Okay. I wish there was a way to be able to see down that direction. One, two, three, four, five. So 1, 2, roll. It is doable. 1, 2, roll, and then roll again. Oh man, so close. But I don't know how close I really am to that, because I just think I need to then wiggle my way into the next section, which, getting up in this area, that little teleportation, feels like that teleportation itself should take you somewhere else. 1, 2, no, that's not gonna work. 1, 2, roll. Alright, we'll go ahead and hit it again. We're over here. We could go over there and get that card, but I think first and foremost we want to solve this. These crystals will flash when somebody looks at them. Interesting. 2, 3. But they don't seem to. I don't know if I understand the trick here. So it seems like you can kind of toggle everything on almost, but not quite everything. And the spikes. So interesting that this will turn on everything. That'll toggle that. That'll let you do that. That'll let you do that. I'll toggle that. I'll toggle that. Okay. Okay, now what? I guess maybe this is what it's supposed to be doing. Slightly helpful. Ever so slightly helpful. Now we have spike bun. Sometimes fish buns awake in the morning to find their spiky shells glued to their backs. Great. And this gives us a great opportunity now to refill our health and check out this challenge. The natural evolution for fish buns who have crossed paths with an adventurer is a shell bun. Alright, and that teleports us back this way. And then it's now just a probably not too bad scenario to get back. 1, 2. Yeah, that's actually fairly easy. Now we're over here. And now we can solve another puzzle. Interesting. So you just push these. Apparently not. Confused. If it doesn't work like this, and it doesn't work like that, and it doesn't work like that, and it doesn't work like that, haven't we tried all the options at that point? Green. Apparently this is what we're doing. We're pushing everything to green. That's a weird puzzle. That's definitely a weird puzzle. I wouldn't have expected that to work out that way. Oops. And I don't think I can actually reach where I want to reach over on this side. So I think we do now have to either die trying or bounce this twice to get back here to hit that. Yeah, spent a lot of time on this, and now that should work. Finally, a lot of time, and all we're gonna get for this is a collection of trading cards. Full life, and this is just like a straight up boss fight, I guess. Okay. What does this do? It's gonna fire every time. And at that point, what am I doing? green doesn't seem like it does anything. Just lights something up. So I think the trick is I've got to go here, and then I've got to run, and then, well, that won't work. I won't make it in time. We've got like 2 balls running in circles. But then that direction, as far as the balls are concerned, are pointless. Unless there's a toggle that happens when we hit the green. Which there is. So the solution is to hit the green. And see if that works. So you do just have to get a straight hit on them, and that's the only trick. Why I have to do that multiple times though, I don't know. That seems kind of sucky. Fall to your death. Oh, don't tell me that reset it. Oh, this is a nightmare scenario. Nobody wants that. Okay. Is the journey any faster one direction versus another direction? No. I don't think it is. But there is probably a possibility of doing less damage to yourself. I am hoping that this means we can do this fairly quickly. 2. Alright. So now the real challenge begins. This one. It has to be this direction, I think. I don't think you win at all if you don't hit it that way. Oh man. Okay, we did it. And one last bit of damage that could potentially have lost the game for you. Hey, there's someone here. Looks more like a rock with a face painted on it, or maybe someone got turned into one. Who knows with this place. Don't worry, buddy. We're here to save you from this dungeon. Yeah, let's pretend that. While we're at it, let's place it on one of those buttons outside. Alright, so what else did we get? We got Mapman, a retired adventurer who spent his time charting the island with minimal success. That's number 34 of 40, so these are the hard ones. Cyber Ginny, she augments her body with robotic parts to push her combat potential. And Ginny Mole has all the latest dirt on the locals. So, like, everybody's a Ginny. And I wonder if that is a joke that's maybe going a little further than it probably should nowadays. In modern times, that kind of feels like calling someone a Karen at this point. Well, did I miss anything? I don't think so. Okay. So we now know. We now know what we're trying to accomplish here. She's standing on a switch. The stone's standing on a switch. We will eventually get enough items to get all the switches activated, and that will let us escape. I don't believe I have any way of doing any of the other sections of the map at the moment, which thank goodness for that, because that would be super annoying. This has really been an hour-and-a-half sidetrack when I should have just been playing the main game. Let's see, let's go back to this area. There's still a decent amount of stuff we've missed. And let's go back here. Refill our health. And definitely I could appreciate. Let's see, north is Star Woods. Let's just walk in here to see where we are. There's like a cave right here, so we'll check it out. Still not getting anything for breaking all this stuff. I found several green stars just lying out there. Whatever they do, don't touch them. When I bumped into one, it gave me a bizarre sequence of sounds. So we may end up having the one through Star Woods, but we were kind of going this direction to the changing room. Hello there, no secrets to be found around here, but this cave leads to fancy ruins for some reason. Leftovers, don't mind if I do. There's probably an achievement for standing behind each one of these. And changing room, right? Please whack to acquire suit to change into. So what do we have? That looks like our standard suit. And what is this? This is a slightly different hair. Yeah, one's a ponytail. One is a non-ponytail, and everything else on it looks exactly the same. So not much of a difference. I feel like instead of having different outfits and having an animator animate that, you probably would have been better off animating a couple more rooms in a dungeon or one more enemy type. There's kind of a lack of enemy types from the first game, so that does kind of feel like that's something that's being kind of continued in the second game. Is a little too much repetition. Doing some variety on the enemy types. So if like these guys would pop up and there'd be a faster version, probably wouldn't hurt too much. Although they don't really seem too focused on having challenging fights at all. And those little candy cane worms are ridiculous. Wow. We really fast moved. Well, I wasn't expecting it to work that way, but it did. So we moved very, very far, but also close to the next level. So west is the art exhibit, now open. These guys seem to be strong. I think you probably do want to just avoid everything as far as damage is concerned. So where, yeah, you do run into just a wall on this side. So unless there was some secret thing, looks like your best bet would be to either try to go through this big area or just use the warp, or I guess I could have even gone through the other section. It's nice that there's checkpoints so that you're not having to wander around ridiculously far distances. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're running into a problem here, because they put a it just putting these holes in the middle of the ground is just cruel for no reason. 1. So 1, 2, 4. And then you've got to wait. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. And all we got was an outfit for that. It's a waste of time. I'm just trying to see where this map leads us. East is the art exhibit, now open. Are you going to the art exhibit? It's too dangerous. I disagree with someone about the painting and they started attacking me. Alright, so we don't want to go to the art exhibit apparently. Seems like the camera is getting a little zoomed out in this area also. Doesn't that feel like the resolution is all of a sudden smaller? Now this feels like we're zoomed in again. Yeah, you are really zoomed out. I wonder if the creatures that fall into bones are an indication of something else. Like that possibly I'm fighting somebody who's too strong for me. It's just people attacking me non-stop. by far the floor is the most deadly thing in this game. Just falling to your death. And what else? The guy is like shielded, so I don't know if I could take him out even if I wanted to. Where does this take us? Now we're in some other area even. Oh, interesting. And now I'm slowed down. Can I avoid damage enough to even get around here? This is like a whole puzzle. Puzzle slash boss fight by the looks of it. Doesn't feel like my stick stops burning ever. Got the dynamite, blow up stuff, can be frozen with ice attacks. So once we have ice attacks, you have like only one dynamite, and it does seem like they are. So did I clear everything in that area? Yeah, by the looks of it, I did. So, super useful now. Because now, anytime we've got anybody that wants to give us some trouble, we can do something like that. And see if that decides to set them right. No, I guess it doesn't quite still work that way. Seems like these shielded guys still have an advantage. It almost feels like we are getting to a point where we are getting stronger just because we've found more things. And we are just kind of wandering around at this point. Also, what is this? Trash cave. Beware rot nips. Yes, I thought this dungeon smelled bad enough on the outside. Well, that's just me having pace since we fell into a pond a while ago. Ugh. Intruders, come to steal garbage. Submerge. Well, I was gonna steal some, but now it'd just be awkward. The problem here, though, is the trash cave is not the next cave that we're supposed to do. It's not the next... it's not the next dungeon. So we found our way to the wrong dungeon. And we now have dynamite. And for verification purposes, I think we have to go and test some things out. Will that blow up a stop sign? No. So what I wanted to find out is what, if anything, does dynamite do? You can press it and then push it, but then I would need a double shot to do anything with that. Will that start the fire? No, I didn't think it would. Will that do anything there? Will it break this? Yes. So I don't want to do that puzzle yet. In fact, I kind of don't want to do that puzzle for quite a while. But I do now know that we can work with things. Here's like the first two bosses that we've already fought in the game. So we do now know that what we're working with, and anything that might be explodable might have some secrets that we've not been able to find so far. What's this? Supposed to be a puzzle here, but I forgot to reset it. Just go past the stairs. Interesting. Okay. So if I hit this, how long does this stay awake? For a decent amount of time. If not forever. Right, so I imagine the trick here is wasn't even really something that had to be solved with the dynamite. I imagine that probably could have been solved just with using a shot. Kind of hating having to reset the toggle cleared every time. That seems unnecessary. Let's just find where we are supposed to go, and that'll be it for this recording. Let's see. It is apparently down this way. Hitting these doesn't seem to do much. This guy is really strong. That's a lot of hits. Particularly reflecting his own attacks back on them. Oops. Are these guys really gonna do damage to me when they hit me? Yeah, they are. So they're gonna slow me down and do damage to me in a hedge maze of reasonable size too. So honestly, it is just easier to eliminate the problem. Blow them up, and then see. South is a frozen court. Below, beware the Slayer Ginny. Feels like you probably wouldn't be terribly suited to have some health regen, considering how they do enough damage to you. Is this guy following me? Interesting. No, these are ice things. which means what? Can I do all of these types of things without help? See, if I did this, and then did this, and then did that, probably fine. And then if I push this one, and then push this one, I can do that and that. And another secret shard. Feels like we've got quite a few of those. Is there any other white spots? No, I just see this. 1, 2, 3. Yep. This is 1. Okay, so there's a 2 somewhere. It's over here. So that's 2. So 2 secrets in the hedge maze is not too much. 3. And now we're in a scrapyard area, which I only have to assume is going to give us the final ability. It feels like we should get our all of our abilities a lot earlier, and it does kind of feel like they are. This is the scrapyard. Interesting. Wait a minute, right? This is the scrapyard, and yet we've had this ability to warp to the scrapyard from the beginning of the game. That's crazy. Feels like you should have probably started the sequel of this game with all 4 of your basic abilities, and then it should have given us new abilities that were stronger versions of that later, and maybe we will get that. It's just been slow to start. And you can definitely see that there aren't too many items in the entire game. I think we need to collect 8 secret shards, so we're like halfway through at that point. And if we do all the side missions to get all of the cards, you get 5, it seems like, for each of those dungeons, plus 1, 2, 3 more, so 8. Yeah, it's kind of hard to say much more though, because there's not really so much happening. It's just a lot of getting from point A to point B, not enough story for my taste, and not enough challenge. Now, in all fairness, if I were to really go back and play The Legend of Zelda, it probably plays a lot like this. The original NES game probably plays a lot like this, where you are taking a lot of cheap hits and taking damage that's a little unfair, and just kind of working your way through a room. A ton of Legend of Zeldas, you're trapped in a room and you have to defeat enemies to exit to the next room. They mostly avoid that, well, they sometimes do that, but very rarely. And instead, you're just in an overworld where you're fighting enemies, which also was in Legends of Zelda. Legend of Zelda really went a little overboard. Nobody would have complained at the time, but if you think back on it, yeah, you're basically having to fight your way through every single screen, and very often, if you were a new player or a bad player, you would have died and been reset to the beginning of a dungeon, or died and been reset to some place in the overworld. But even at that, there's a feeling of there being more story there. I think part of the problem that Nintendo overcame is that The Legend of Zelda was the beginning of many, many spin-off canonical stories, non-canonical stories. There were comic books, probably some kind of novel adaptations, commercials, TV, for sure. A lot of stuff happened after The Legend of Zelda to build on the nostalgia of The Legend of Zelda, whereas Ittle Dew, not a big enough company as an independent developer. They're just not big enough to have done anything like that. And they've really failed to embrace modern times by telling the story actually in the game, something you wouldn't have been able to do in an NES game very well. Or just try to have more items in general. I think they're still kind of in love with the idea of pressing 2 or 3 buttons and combining your attacks, and we'll probably have some puzzles at some point that actually require doing that, and that feels like that will be a little bit of a frustration. Also, the controls are just wonky in general. I can already feel the beginnings of a blister on my thumb after trying to get my controller to point me in different angles instead of just locking down the character into an 8-way directional setup or even a 4-way directional setup. By giving me more range, more degrees of freedom, you've actually made the game more difficult and more frustrating. I would probably prefer this game a lot better if it was just always 90 degrees in every direction, north, south, east, west, and the enemies only moved north, south, east, west. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.